Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Manifest Mondays. I'm your host, Jen Mazer, the Queen of Manifestation, and today I'm coming to you from Italy in the beautiful mountains. We're at Yoga Borgo with two amazing people. I'm so lucky that I get to share them with you. Sada Sat Singh and Sada Sat Kaur, the founders of Yoga Borgo here, and also one of the founders of Yogi Tea, which I think a lot of you might be familiar with and drink at home.
Drink lots.
So yeah, we're here where they have this beautiful yoga, almost, what would you call it, like a villa?
We call it an ashram.
An ashram.
So,
Yeah. And they lead retreats and teach yoga here. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about how you got to Italy, because you're not from here.
No.
And got to teaching yoga and founding Yogi Tea.
Okay.
So just share a little bit of your story, maybe
Well,
first.
we've been teaching yoga and doing yoga since 1970. And we lived for a while on the East Coast, and then in the early 70s we moved to Los Angeles and lived in Los Angeles for 30 years in our yoga community and with our teacher Yogi Bhajan, and then in 2002,
2004.
we moved here. 2002, we came here for vacation.
2001, actually.
And we spent the next couple of trips to Italy trying to figure out when we would come here, when we would live here, could we live here, till finally let's live here. And we were very fortunate to find the perfect place pretty quickly.
Amazing. Yeah. And so you just kind of set up at camp and learned how to speak Italian.
Kind of like that. You know, the cart was before the horse a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
But we came with great intention. It's something we really wanted to do, and it just became very clear that this was, for us, is the perfect thing. And my family originally comes from Sicily, so I had never come to Italy my whole life. My grandfather used to always say, "That's the past. Italy's the past." He says, but he would also say, "But you're not Italian, Siciliano." Remember that. And so I never had any great desire to come here. But then we came on a vacation, on a fluke really, in 2001. And just, for me, I was home. And we both just fell in love with it. And so we came the next year to say, okay, is this feeling really real? And the next year was even stronger. I just felt at home.
Yeah.
And so we just knew that this would be someplace that we would come to. And we didn't know exactly when or how that would happen. But we just set the intention and just started telling everybody that we knew that we were moving to Italy.
I love that.
But we didn't know exactly when it would happen.
But that's kind of how you manifest. It's really inspiring for everyone else.
You set the intention. And the stronger you can set that intention and hold that intention and keep repeating, that was our affirmation, that was our mantra. And the amazing thing was, it just started materializing. And it was an interesting event. We were having breakfast with a friend in Rome one morning, and I was explaining our Italian plan. And this was in 2002, I think, maybe 2003. And I said, we're putting together a 5-year plan. And we figure that we'll take a few years to identify the right property, and we'll be here in 5 years. And she leaned across the breakfast table and she said, "What are you waiting for?" I didn't have a good excuse. And the whole thing at that moment just went into hyperspeed. And a year later, we were living here. It was just amazing.
I have chills.
Yeah.
I think that's such a good lesson for everyone else. Like, what are you waiting for? Because people think, oh, when I'm ready, or in 5 years, or when this happens, or...
And there was definitely a lot of holding on for the ride, even after we moved here. And sometimes even now, things are moving so fast. We start thinking about what it is we want, and we use a lot of meditation also. And all of a sudden it's happening, and we're watching the floodgates open. And all the things that we've been talking about that we want, and we've been telling people this is our plan, and it happens.
Yeah.
And it's wow,
How do you notice when it's showing up?
It's pretty obvious to us that sometimes we have to one of us has to say, hey, you notice that that's starting to happen. And then I think the noticing of it increases the speed at which it happens too. Because you're putting that energy and focus into it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
There's
that.
a few things that impact us a lot. We really believe in intention. We really believe in affirmation. And those are really significant elements of yoga. And we practice that constantly. But we're both big fans of Louise Hay. And so,
Me too.
so there's this one mantra that is so wonderful, is so simple, and that is everything I need comes to me. And that's our repetitive mantra. And it just happens. And like the favorite places it happens to me is, okay, we live on a mountaintop. And sometimes, you just need help. Or sometimes you need a plumber. And, even living in the States, getting a plumber is hard to get. Well, it turns out that our next door neighbor is a plumber. He's our only neighbor. And so one day we have a big plumbing problem here, and it's like I can't get hold of him. And I'm driving down the hill, and I'm thinking, I got to find a plumber. And who's driving up the hill? His son. And his son is a plumber. Michele, come sta? You have the whole conversation. Oh, si. I'll come right away. And he comes right away, and he fixes everything. And I say, how much do I owe you?
Yeah.
And he says, no, nothing. I said, no. I have to pay you something. You've been here 3 hours. He had to go into town, which is a bit of a trek. And he comes back. And I said, let me pay you something. He says, no, you're my friend. And I said, but still.
Yeah.
He says, okay, €5. And that's when you know
Wow.
what
Yeah.
you need comes to you.
Yeah.
And for us, I have to say, that happens all the time. It's amazing. It's astounding. And I'm not going to say it's unbelievable because it's fully believable.
Yes.
But we just set that intention. And another thing that is significant for both of us is expressing gratitude. I read a great book, and I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it's Are You Ready to Succeed? And he talks in this book about the law of increase. And it's simply what you express gratitude for will increase in your life. And really, it's like whatever you're focusing on in your life will increase. So the more you can express gratitude, the more you will have to express gratitude for. It just is a primer. It just works. And it is so simple, and it so works. And then, you have to keep the intention because there's so many opportunities to lose the intention.
Exactly. So you have to be conscious to get back into it.
Exactly.
And hold it.
And a lot of times you have to, it's like gardening. You have to cut away, certain growth that doesn't serve what you want to create. That, you have to pull the weeds out. Or if you are growing roses, certain growth you cut so it'll produce better roses, etc. And in Steve Jobs' book, he mentions one thing in there, and what was the, source of some of his genius. And he said, really, it's making the commitment to that one great idea that you do have and letting go of all those other brilliant ideas that you have. So it's not that this may be the only great idea that you have, but this is the one you're committing to.
Yeah.
And it's a discipline because it's like, okay, not getting distracted. And just keep coming back to that focus.
And committing to one thing at a time.
And we're doing a course here right now. It's a course on mantras that we repeat and yoga that we do and meditation we do to increase the happiness in your life. And the first step to happiness is always commitment. People always want commitment to come somewhere down the line when they finally made decisions. Well, this is okay. I don't know how I feel about that. But when you have that desire and you have that thing you want to achieve, and you make the commitment, whatever else comes, you will keep going until you have it. So if you commit to happiness, you will keep going till you have that happiness. So we started on commitment today, so that was very timely.
It was timely.
Yeah.
I love that. That's the day I showed up.
Yeah, perfect.
And I'm trying to think of my lessons
Right.
too.
But that helps you maintain your intention.
Yeah.
And you have to continually be coming back to it.
Yeah.
Because there are so many, again, distractions. Some of them are super positive distractions. Some of them may be the negative distractions. Some of them may be your own insecurities, your own self-doubt. But if you keep finding a way to maintain that positive affirmation, keeping on that path, it happens. It happens.
So tell me a little bit about Yogi Tea and your idea for putting those affirmations on the tea bags.
Well,
Because it's brilliant.
I can't say we were the most brilliant marketers, but two things we loved in life. One was yoga, and the other was food. And so we had a restaurant, and we served a lot of yogi tea. And after being in the restaurant business for about 12 years, we started thinking, maybe there's an easier way to make money than being a restaurant. I love the restaurant, and we thought, we sell a lot of this yogi tea. Why don't we start selling this stuff? And so that was really the seed of that business. And we were young and we were enthusiastic, and we wanted to share everything that we had. And so, we were Yogi Tea, and so the first thing we actually did, we put a yoga posture on the top of the box. And this is early 80s, and people said, Sada Sat, you can't do that. I said, well, we're yogis. And he says, yeah, but it's just too strange. I said, well, I'm sitting here, I have this thing on my head. I do not look like the normal person. I'm wearing white clothes, my name is different, etc. There is nothing subtle about us.
Yeah.
So we'll put the yogi on the box. And then we wanted to share more. And so we started putting these little quotes from Yogi Bhajan on every tea bag, just to kind of lighten people's day and just to kind of share what we had great enthusiasm about. And much of it was just our enthusiasm. It wasn't always like the most brilliant marketing decision, but it all just kind of kept coming together. And it was another one of those things, everything you need comes to you just by keeping that intention.
Yeah, I love that everything worked out. And it really does when you, number one, are yourself, and you're not afraid of what other people will think if no one's done it before, or it's, different than the norm.
Right.
And also the enthusiasm that you were genuine and other people reacted positively.
Yeah,
because
they
you were
felt that.
enthusiastic.
Yeah, that makes a big, big difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that. Thank you. So if you want to leave everyone with some advice for manifesting, if there's some beautiful lesson that they can learn from you, what would you say?
Well, I would say it's really important, perhaps the most important, is to be true to your best self within you and to surround yourself with people and environments that support that. Because there's no guarantee the path is going to be easy, but when you have that support, you can keep going.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah. We have a phrase of Yogi Bhajan, keep up and you'll be kept up. And so it's just that, making the commitment and just staying on the path, create that habit, and that becomes your habit. And using, of course, your intelligence and your consciousness, and the true self, important too.
Yeah. So thank you so much for spending this time with me today.
You're very welcome.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Yeah.
This has been amazing, and it's so beautiful here. I'd love for everyone to experience your yoga ashram here in Italy. So
great.
where can people get more information about how they can come and do a retreat with you?
Well, you can find us on Facebook under Yoga Borgo. You can also go to www.yogaborgo.com.
Awesome. And I'll put the link below for all of you
Great.
so that you have it.
Yeah, we
Great.
hope to see some of you here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
You're welcome.
taking this time
You're so
today.
welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Lots of love. See you next time.
God bless.